Hello, what's up? How's everyone doing? Somerset Abbey, are you ready for a delightful night of comedy the likes you have not seen today? Yeah, let's do this. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. It's been a terrible year, so thank you for coming out to the Abbey and supporting us. We really do appreciate it. It's going to be a fun night. We got 4 awesome comedians for you. We're just going to go over some quick ground rules for the show. If you get a phone call, if it's an emergency, if grandma died, don't answer it. She'll still be dead after the show, so it's totally cool. Just call her later. But no, has everyone here been to a comedy show before? Yeah? All right. Who hasn't been to a comedy show before? All right, we got one guy. All right, cool. We got more. 3.5 people. We got 3.5 people. Great. It's perfect. So the way the comedy works, we're going to tell jokes, and if you think they're funny, laugh at them, and if they're not funny, laugh even harder so we don't cry on the way home. All right, we're going to try it real quick. Why didn't the skeleton cross the road? Because he didn't have any guts. All right, that's a little bit. That was okay. Let's try it one more time. All right, you got to really laugh loud for dumb jokes. Why didn't the skeleton cross the road? Because he didn't have any guts. Okay, you guys get the idea. Fantastic. Oh man, I've been watching a lot of TV since the pandemic started, and I was watching American Idol, and they were talking to this one girl about her backstory, and they were asking, "Hey, where do you get your inspiration for your music?" And she was like, I have 2 brothers, and tragically, one of them killed himself. And so that really got me writing lyrics, and it was kind of my driving force. And then she started talking a little more, and she was like, tragically, my other brother killed himself. And I was thinking, how bad is this girl singing that their brothers are just offing it? Oh, my God. She's got to be terrible. She didn't win. She's so bad at it. You guys ever go for an STD test? If you haven't, I absolutely recommend that you don't. You're probably fine. I went, and when you first sit down, they ask you a bunch of questions, and they're very personal. Like, one of the questions was, have you ever been with a man sexually? And I'm like, no. And the next question is, are you sure? It's like, I know I look like this. I don't. And then it keeps going, and it's like, even a hand job? No, still no. It's still no. It's still a no. And one more question was like, Nate, we have it on good authority that you're in a production of Mamma Mia for free. Are you sure you've never been with a man? Still no. Oh, God. I tell you what. All right, we got some great comics for you tonight. My name is Nate White. I will be your MC. We got a really funny man coming up to the stage first. His name is Nick Gordon. He is the founder of the River Comics. He also has a podcast called Comedy Think Tank. Give it up for Nick Gordon, very funny man. Oh, sorry, I gotta do this. I gotta lube you up first. I'm so sorry. I should have. Gotta be safe. I just gotta clean this sensual head here. Be good. All right, that's clean now. You can do the comedy.
Thank you. Your mask is on the floor. What happens here if I do this? Oh, okay. That's not awkward at all. It's attached there too? Son of a bitch. Hey, have you guys ever rolled a piece of bologna with mustard in the middle for dinner and been like, yeah, that's good enough? Things are going well for me, as you can tell. I got you. I'm my own roadie. Thank you. What's your name? Arthur? Thank you, Arthur. Thank Arthur, everyone. The rest of you fuckers are just sitting here waiting to watch me, like, screw this thing up. I'm trying not to spit in your food, ma'am. I'm just joking. Oh, my God. Yeah, I roll up bologna for dinner. That's where I'm at. I don't know. Anybody else? I also like to do the chicken tenders from Hannaford. You guys like those in the bag? Yeah, this is my table over here. They're very salty, dry. They go great with a gallon of water. Hannaford likes to put the time on it, though. Like, it says, like, oh, bagged at 4:55, right? You guys know. So let them know. Yeah. You know what I want is them to put the name on it. Like, I want to look back there and be like, okay, Dale, I see what you've done. Come on, man. I do go to Hannaford a lot. I like to buy the Hannaford brand toilet paper because it says right on it, compares to Charmin. Compares to Charmin. Of course, I can't afford both Charmin and Hannaford brand and tacos to do the test. But, you know, I'll take their word for it. I like Hannaford. I am divorced, by the way, so just want to get that out there. My name is Nick Gordon. Thank you guys for coming out to comedy. When I was a little kid, my cousin used to call me Nicholas Pickles Ridiculous. Isn't that sweet? Yeah. Of course, we grew up and learned cousins don't stay friends. All right. You guys are friends with your cousins. That's good. Like I said, things aren't going well. When I was in middle school, people called me Gordo, right? Of course, it took me until Spanish 3 to learn Gordo means fat. And those lunch ladies are assholes. I'll have another taco boat if I want, Maria. Got to high school, people called me Flash Gordon. That was cool. Yeah. Of course, most high school boys are known as Flash after their first sexual experience. This is interesting. I have 2 kids. I have them call me Papa. Any other fathers, Papa? Not granddad, but actual father, Papa. I just, I think it's something different. Plus, my father's name is Dad, right? So, yeah, I have them call me Papa. I relate better to old people, I like to watch Jeopardy and go to bed. I like those little jars of peanut butter, the little tiny ones that only cost $1. Grandma's got it in the cupboard for 6 months. She never uses it. I like my candy hard, my penis soft. I just relate better to old people. Guys, I'm having fun, okay? I'm having fun. I'm from Aroostook County originally. Anybody? Aroostook County, I was born in Presque Isle. Aroostook is a Native American word meaning end of 95 north. Right? Presque Isle, another, it's a French word actually. It's the island of guys with name on their shirts. Work at a gas station? No. Thanks, guys. Holy shit. Guys, happy to be out? Okay, good. Me too. I grew up in Portland, though. They call it a vibrant city, right? It's a vibrant city. I think that's because most of the homeless people have Whole Foods carts. So, it's very artistic. I recently bought a house, though, in Bath, Maine. Bath is interesting. Where Bath is positioned, apparently it goes way back in history. Native Americans lived there. Hundreds of years people have been living there, but it wasn't until 1781 that they finally incorporated the town. I learned that before I moved in, right? So I got to imagine at that meeting in 1781, they're like, oh, finally, that's settled. She got it, actually. Holy shit, guys. Sorry, I just, I have a new home. I have a new home in Bath. It's 1,100 square feet of me banging my shins off my grandmother's coffee table. So that's fun. These glasses, I don't know if, probably there's other people wearing glasses in here, but these glasses are very real. I gotta tell you guys, these glasses are very real. These aren't cheaters. These aren't readers. For me, these are seeing into the future glasses, and for me, it's blurry. Let me tell you how, these guys are so, I need these glasses to find these glasses. Okay? I need these glasses to pee sitting down at night. When I go to the eye doctor, I go in the eye doctor, right, and the test is not like A or B or 1 or 2, the eye chart test. It's no, not really. He's like, how about this? I said, no. How about this? Not really. Well, how about this? No. This one? Not really. Okay, Mr. Gordon, we're going with the not reallys, okay? Good luck getting home. Actually, before you leave, can we give you a concussion test, sir? Yeah. I figure, though, like, if I go fully blind, I thought about, like, if I go fully blind, I could potentially, be a famous person, right? Think about it. How many fully blind famous people do you know? One? Maybe? Like, I could name three. I can name three off the top of my head. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Helen Keller, right? So, like, if I go fully blind, it's 2 piano players and a woman. There's room at the top of the list, guys. I heard oh. Sir, your wife is not going to beat you, don't worry. You can laugh, though. Anybody do dry January? Not in this room. Holy shit. We're in a church, for crying out loud. Dry January. For those who don't know what dry January is, it comes right after No Nut November and a very wet December. Dry January is you take all 30 days of January and you don't drink. So for I did it though. I made it all the way. That's the first thing he's laughed at, guys. Alcoholism's great. No, I wanted to be a little bit healthier. Like I was saying, I wanted to lose some weight. Like from the front, like you guys looking at me from the front, you're like, oh, he's okay. Like he looks all right. He's good. But from the side, it's just like, oh my God. Like I'm shaped like an S. Like it's horrific. You guys can see from over there, right? It's just, So dry January, yeah, I tried to do that. I realized though, like while I'm doing dry January, that I'm not an alcoholic, but I started to sound like an alcoholic during dry January. I was like, I'd say things like, oh, if I make it through today, it'll be a miracle, grant me the wisdom to change the things I can and the knowledge to. He is an alcoholic, he knows. Plus, I said, your mother's a whore. Something a drunk person would say. Thank you. Thanks, guys. That's great. I'm a parent. I'm not a very good parent. Yeah, but this is bad. Like, this is really bad. Like I think ISIS has better parenting skills than I do. Like, my kids will, like, break a lamp, and they'll be like, I didn't do it. But, like, ISIS blows up a church, and they claim responsibility immediately. Like, that's some good parenting. My son is 9. Any other 9-year-old kids? Anybody have a 9-year-old son? He's an asshole. He's an asshole. He doesn't like to shower. I don't understand this thing where he won't shower. Like 9-year-old boys, for some reason, like it's almost like training Navy SEALs. Like you got to just get a hose and like put them by the ocean and just squirt it in their face. Like, right? Have you seen that? That's pretty funny. He's a good kid. He's got one of those magic 8 balls though, and I was cleaning his room the other day, and I picked up the 8 ball. It's a toy, right? Not Coke. I picked it up, I turned it over, didn't even shake it. It said, "Outlook not so good." I'm like, oh man, this kid. He watches Power Rangers in Ninja Turtles, so he thinks he knows like 14 different types of karate. So he's like trying to use it. I'm like, Dad's been through some stuff, so. Actually, I took karate as a kid. I was 1 year away from being a black belt, and I quit. I kick myself now, but not very well. Thank you. I have a daughter. She's gonna be 13 in September. Yeah, you know what that means? Period. Yeah. It's hard for me though, because like in my mind, Tampax is a place in Florida where skateboarders go to retire. So she's at the age where she doesn't say "I love you" anymore. Like I'll say "I love you," and she'll just say "Yeah, okay." "I love you." "Yeah, sure, whatever." And I said, you know what? If I say I love you and you don't say it back to me, I'm taking $1 out of your college fund every time you don't do it. "Yeah, whatever." So for the last year, I've said I love you 900 times. And she hasn't said it back to me at all. So now her college fund is at negative $900. And counting. Who's married? Married couples? Good? Yes? Nice? Excellent? Good? Some people are like, maybe. I'm not sure. Are we? Yeah. No, we've just been dating a really long time. I used to be married. Like I said, I used to be married. The secret to being married, I'll tell you guys, the secret to marriage is when your wife comes home and says, hey, we're going gluten-free. You don't immediately say, I'm fucking the neighbor's wife. Those things just don't. They don't correspond. So, now I got divorced. No shit, guys. I got divorced. We finalized our divorce on Halloween 5 years ago. That was the day, and we hadn't told the kids yet. So we finalized our divorce, and then we took them trick or treating. One last chance to dress up like a family. I got to hear my ex-wife, say things like, "Hey, check that candy for razors and poison and alimony." It was good. It was good. Got my own apartment after the divorce. Got my own place. Friends of mine had a place open up down in New Gloucester, and I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take that. I'll take that." Little two-bedroom apartment above a kitchen and next to a barn at a farmhouse, a working farmhouse. Not your traditional working farmhouse. This farmhouse hosted weddings on the weekend. Divorced dad, father of two, first apartment, farmhouse, hipster venue. It was nice. It was a good spot. It was a good spot. Good price. It was in my price range. It was nice. Every other weekend, I would be able to look out my window and witness a wedding and just shake my fist. Enjoy your happiness. Anybody ever been to a wedding barn venue for a wedding? It's an interesting thing. Like for those who haven't been, the wedding is in the barn or it's out in the field, and like your new mother-in-law is sitting on a bale of hay while you're doing the vows. Like when they get to the part about, hey, in sickness and do you take this woman in sickness and health and all that, somebody's actually contracting Lyme disease at that moment. So it's an interesting place. So the wedding barn venues are always start out with like homemade wine and like fancy foods. But just like every other wedding, it ends in Bud Light and bonfires and shit. So it's pretty cool. I figured my home was going to burn down eventually. The best was when I had my kids though, and I would put them in the window, and I would flick the lights on and off real fast while everyone's downstairs getting drunk and high. And then I go down over to the stairs and moan out the window, "These are the ghosts of your future mistakes. Wear a condom tonight." I thought maybe I could make some money working at the wedding barn farmhouse. I thought maybe, I could bring the bride and groom up like the week before and be like, this is, give them a little counseling, right? You guys, this is a big decision. Like, I know you're getting married, you think you love each other. I know you rented a Mumford & Son cover band. I know you got artisanal wine and Bud Lights in the back waiting to go. It's a big decision, though, because, you could end up like me if you don't take this seriously, guys. Like, a couple of kids that you pretend are ghosts, and, you could have Hannaford brand toilet paper. You could be rolling bologna for dinner. So, actually, what really happened was I became a bridesmaid safe house. Any of the bridesmaids that weren't having it at the party, they could come up to my apartment and knock on the door. We had a secret word. I'd be like, "What's the password?" And they'd be like, "Daddy issues." Come on in. Applause break. I'll take that. That's awesome. I'll take it because I had a little issue coming up here. I got a phone call from my parents. They said, "Oh, your grandmother isn't doing so well," and I said, "Oh man, that's hard to hear." Because I thought she was dead already. My other grandmother did pass away some years ago, and she left me $500. Yay. There's 5 grandchildren. We each got $500. That's $2,500 that she left to her grandchildren. Like, we were one sunsetter awning away from not getting anything. Like, that's how close she pushed it. It's like, way to go, Graham. Way to go. I like talking about death. You guys, anybody here? I've thought about suicide. Listen, I've thought about it. I've also thought about baking my own bread, though. So I'm not doing either. If you like the suicide stuff, I did have a friend. Here we go. We're going to hit our stride now. I had a friend who committed suicide. He was a kid, like we played Little League together, right? We didn't stay friends growing up, but I felt bad about it when I heard, because I was like, Jesus, if I had worked just a little harder, if I just worked a little harder at this relationship growing up, maybe things would have been different. But listen, guys, I'm not going to kill myself to keep him from killing himself. Okay, that's probably too much, right? Is that too much? Anybody use Viagra? Anybody? Yeah. Apparently, Viagra causes melanoma. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not. Viagra causes melanoma. And I have to think that maybe if these old people stop fucking outdoors in Florida, maybe it'd be different. They do have women's Viagra now. They got the pink pill. They got the pink pill for women's Viagra. I don't know what they're getting up, but I can't find it regardless, so it doesn't matter. Just like any other drug, though, there's side effects, right? There's side effects just like any other drug. Listen, if your wetness lasts more than 4 hours, seek my attention. Any painters? Anybody paint? No? Okay. I was painting my kitchen, and I realized painting and sex are very similar. Both are type of things you don't want me doing in your home. Both leave you very sweaty and sore if you do it right. You say a lot of the same things between painting and sex, don't you? Like, oh, you're gonna have to get on your knees for that one. Oh, too much, or not enough. That sort of thing. Hey, catch that drip. All right, guys, that's enough out of me, I think. I appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the show. My name is Nick Gordon.
Give it up for Nick Gordon. Keep it going for him. Yeah, let him know. He looks like everyone's favorite substitute teacher, I guess. All right, let's keep this show going. We got a very funny lady coming to the stage next. She is the 2016 winner of the Strand Comedy Competition and has appeared at the Improv Boston, Comics at Mohegan Sun, the Ithaca Comedy Festival, and the International Lady Laughs Comedy Festival. Give it up for Dawn Hartill.
Give it up for your host, Nate. Ooh, and this all right, this is really awkward, sorry. So you thought Nick was awkward? I beat him. All right, here we go. Give it up for your host, Nate White. So like Nate said, my name is Dawn. That's not a name you hear too much anymore, is it? See, my mom is a full-blooded American Indian, and my dad was a full-blooded American hippie. So when two people like that get together, they name their children accordingly. I got Dawn, not so bad. My sister Moonbeam and my other Feather, not so lucky. I don't know if you guys heard, but somebody from Auburn, Maine was on Jeopardy recently. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna watch this. Maybe I know this guy. And sure enough, I did. It was my gynecologist. Yeah. At first I wasn't sure it was him because I usually try not to look him in the eye. And usually I could only, but then he bent down and I saw the top of his head and I knew it was him for sure. Yeah. So apparently all these years looking at my lady parts has fully prepared someone to give all their answers in the form of a question. So I think it's safe to say winter is finally over in Maine. Yeah. Oh, you're all the summer fans? Yeah, we have to have some winter fans here. Winter fans, come on. Some of you must ski, snowboard, yeah. All right, you got a sled. Yep, I knew it. Yeah. So winter people, you are my people. I love winter. It is my favorite season. I love the snow. And I will tell you why winter is my favorite season. Because every time it snows, I get to see that fine specimen, Todd Simcox, on my TV. Woo! Channel 5 knows how to pick the weatherman. Everybody was complaining about all the snow. Not this girl. Give it to me, Todd. 8 inches, 12 inches, 18 inches. Woo! I will take it. He can put his Doppler effect on me anytime. No, I'm happily married. Nick asked, there were some married people here tonight, right? You guys married? How long you been married? You didn't seem sure about that. 21? Over 20. That's a very, this isn't round it off, buddy. You either know the date or you don't. I actually asked a couple one time at a show how long they'd been married, and the lady said 57 years. I said, oh my God, what's your secret? She says, he won't die. Yeah. My husband and I have been married for a long time too, and you guys probably know this, around 20, that you got to come up with new ways to keep things interesting. So my husband came up with this thing we like to call the top 3 list. This is where you each get to make your own list of your 3 favorite celebrities, and should you ever meet that famous person in real life, you get to sleep with them, no questions asked. So I'm going to share my list with you today. Number 1 on my list, Todd Simcox. Woo! Love me some salsa. Yeah. Number 2 is Shamar Moore from Criminal Minds. Yeah. He's the black one. Yeah. Number 3 is actually a dead tie for me between Jose Cuervo and Captain Morgan. Yeah. If I'm being honest, I've spent a little bit of time with those last 2 gentlemen, which is consequently how I met my husband and possibly our first kid. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a mom. Always like to point that out just in case it wasn't clear from this outfit or these hips. I'm a mom. I'm a mom to 3 beautiful children. Well, I take that back. I'm a mom to 3 boys. There is nothing pretty about that. My boys are 19, 21, and 25. I know, right? I don't look old enough to have kids that age. But I am from Lewiston, and we start pretty early. Oh, you've been there. Yeah. I actually love when I tell people I'm from Lewiston, and then they immediately feel sorry for me. Oh, Lewiston, sorry. Yeah, my 4-bedroom house on a cul-de-sac in Lewiston, it's probably a dump compared to your single-wide trailer on Route 9 in Sabattis, Maine. Poor me, I'll manage somehow. Anybody here ever been to Sabattis, Maine? Yeah. You drove past all the mobile homes there. Yeah. You live in Green. Okay. You're going to know this then. I once performed a show at a very fine establishment next to the Dunkin' Donuts in Sabattis. I can't tell you the name, but it rhymes with Fixers. Yeah, you're not supposed to say it. Yeah. So this place was a dive, I'm telling you. Everybody there was plastered, especially this woman in the front row who was completely plastered on Bud Light. And she kept yelling things out during the show, and at one point she yelled out and she says, "Those boots you're wearing make you look like a basic bitch." She says, "I bet you bought those at Goodwill." I said, "Ma'am, I'm from Lewiston. These are most certainly from the Salvation Army." So I have a full-time job. Didn't see that one coming, did you? A mom from Lewiston with a job, but it's true. And I actually work full-time as a bank auditor. I know, bank auditor. It's not a cool job or a job where you have any friends. But it's the perfect job for me because it allows me to spend my days pointing out other people's mistakes and making grown men cry. Quite fulfilling. But like most people, about a year ago, I had to start working from home 100%. Pandemic hit, all of a sudden, everybody's working from home. I'm not complaining, at least I got to keep working. But I will tell you this, if I have learned anything during this pandemic, it's that I cannot be trusted to work in the same room as a refrigerator. Nope. Everybody talking about gaining the COVID-19. COVID-39, baby. Here. One of my friends was telling me she had to start dieting because she didn't fit into her jeans anymore. Like, oh, please. I'm at the point, I just gotta hold things together so I can still fit into chairs with arms. Yeah, that's where we're at. So like I said, I do have 3 boys, and at one point in their lives, I had 3 teenage boys all at the same time in my house. Yeah, it was stressful. I'm pretty sure I took more Xanax than my entire book club put together. I also know most days the boys could do no wrong. Other days, I understand why some animals eat their young. As you can imagine, with 3 teenage boys at that time, it was highly likely at any given moment on any given day, there was at least one room in my house where someone was masturbating. Yeah, it just is what it is. So for this reason, anytime I went upstairs in my house, I loudly announced myself, "Mom is coming up the stairs!" And then I would sound a loud air horn. It was just a system that worked for everyone. But I've realized I may have ruined my boys' lives, because now none of them are ever going to finish without an air horn. It could also be why my oldest son decided to become a ship captain, and why we can no longer go to hockey games. Yeah. I went out for a ladies' night out recently, because that's what moms in their 40s do, so we don't feel guilty about drinking tequila on a Wednesday. Yeah. Went down to the Old Port in Portland with a few friends. It was fun. There was a band. We were standing there having drinks. It was so good. And then I looked over here, and I noticed 5 guys looking in my direction. Like 5 really hot guys. Like 23-year-old guys. So I start looking around, and finally I'm like, okay, me? And then they all cheered. And that's when I realized there was a TV above my head, and they were watching the Red Sox game. Yeah, I still got it. I'll tell you one thing, when moms get together, there's a lot of bragging that goes on. Everybody's bragging, their kid's done something better than somebody else's. My friend Jenny, her daughter plays field hockey, and she's like #1 in the state. My friend Wendy, her son plays ice hockey, and she drops like $1,000 on equipment every year. And then they turn to me. My kids never played any sports at all. My middle son was on the debate team. He did Model UN. Have you ever heard of that? Exactly. And then my youngest son, he competed in Rubik's Cube speed solving tournaments. So I never fit in. I dropped like $20 on equipment every year. Yeah. Rubik's Cubes are a lot cheaper than ice hockey. Okay, got it. And you know what? In the end, my kid's probably going to be their kid's boss someday. So there's that. So we finally sent most of them off to college now. The last one finally left the nest this year. And I started texting. I was on Facebook, and I'm like, Yay, empty nest. All the kids are out. And all my friends started texting me when they saw my youngest was off to college. And they said, did you have the big talk with him? The safe sex talk? Did you send him off with a year's supply of condoms? I said, my son plays Rubik's Cubes. My other son is on the debate team. Together, they took 42 board games with them to college, including 5 expansion packs of Settlers of Catan. I have nothing to worry about. No girl's gonna touch their 20-sided dice. No. My oldest son actually got married during pandemic last July. Thank you. Yeah, she seems like a pretty sweet girl. We've known her for a while, but after they got married, she finally decided to tell me something. She said, I don't believe in vaccines. And I'm like, this is awesome. Because now when he knocks you up, he'll only have 9 years of child support instead of 18. Oh, I found the line. I found the line. Like, this half of the room's like, oh, that's funny. This half of the room like, ooh, dead kids. I used to have a pretty cool job. I actually used to be the morning radio show host on a country music station in Oxford County, Maine, WOXO, the mighty Ox. It was a great show. It was a great job. I loved it. What surprised me about that job was how much the old men loved me. They were calling the station every morning, oh, Dawn, sweetheart, we love your voice. What are you wearing today? Yeah. So sorry, ladies, the 50 to 70-year-old demographic is all mine. All the great balls are for me. But it was a country station, so I got to listen to a lot of country music. And we had one song we played all the time. It was by Sam Hunt called Body Like a Back Road. Do you know this song? It's a good song, right? Her curves remind him of a back road. But every time I heard that song, all I could think was, that boy ain't from Maine. Nope. Could you imagine a guy from Maine trying to tell a girl, girl, you have got a body like a back road. Girl, I love your frost heaves. Woo. You got potholes I could fill. You got low shoulders. And don't even get me started about that posted gravel area in the back. That is not gonna work for a Mainer. Oh. I used to travel a lot before pandemic, when I work as a bank auditor, they used to send me all over the place. A lot of times they sent me to Toronto, which is a cool city. Toronto, if you've never been there, it's like the New York City of Canada. It's a giant, giant city. And one day after work, I was going back to my hotel, and you know what? I was like, it was a rough day. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the hotel bar, have a cocktail, calm down, relax before I go up to bed. And I'm sitting there at the hotel bar, and all of a sudden these 2 Canadian guys come and they sit next to me in the bar. And they start talking to me. And I mean, I'll talk to anybody, so I'm just chatting with them. And very quickly I realized these 2 Canadian guys wanted to have a threesome with me. And I'm like, what would it be like to have a threesome with 2 Canadian guys? They are awfully polite. Oh, you come first. No, you. After you. What if they accidentally crossed hockey sticks? Ooh, sorry, so sorry. I didn't know the process. But I will tell you this. It's true what they say about Canadian guys' dicks. The cock exchange rate is also not in their favor. Yeah, so like I said, I did travel a lot, so I spent a lot of time in the Portland Jetport. If you guys have ever traveled, you guys up here probably go out of Bangor, but Portland does not originate any flights. You have to sit at the Portland Jetport and wait for planes to come in before you can leave the great state of Maine. And I was there one day, it's a couple years ago, I was there one day, and it was summertime, and my flight was 2 hours overdue. 2 hours I'd been sitting in the gate. And finally, it came in, and all these people are pouring down the gate. They're all so excited, yay, we're in Maine! And then I noticed this elderly couple. They were probably in their 80s, and they're walking down the gate, and the wife is so pissed. She is yelling at the husband, "You are so stupid, I can't believe you." And the little old man, nothing, no expression whatsoever. And then they walked past me, and that's when I heard her say, "I can't believe you didn't know there are 2 Portlands." Oh, that poor guy. So then they come and they sit next to me in the gate, and she just keeps at him. Rah, rah, rah. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna find a flight out? Are you gonna make me stay here? And he's just sitting there, staring at his shoes. Finally, she gets up to go to the bathroom, and I feel bad for this guy. So I turn to him and I say, "You know, there's some really great stuff to do in Portland, Maine." He looks at me and he says, "Thank you, sweetheart, but I've been married for 60 years. I know when to pick a fight and when to let it go. I know there's 2 Portlands, but goddammit, I am eating lobster tonight." I'll leave you guys with just one more story. We were driving up here tonight. We're driving up here all the way from Lewiston. It's like an hour and a half almost drive up here to Madison. And I got behind this car, and they had one bumper sticker on the back of their trunk, just one. And it said, "No fat chicks allowed." Wow. You put one sticker on your trunk, and that's what you decided to say? "No fat chicks allowed." Then I got to thinking, what events have transpired in this man's life that he felt the need to post this kind of disclaimer on his Toyota Corolla? Was there a long line of plus-size women trying to get in his vehicle? Was he worried about the shocks? And then I thought, you know what? Why is he being so vague? "No fat chicks allowed." Just say what you mean, sir. I hate blowjobs. Just be clear. Because big girls have skills. Yeah. I've heard. Yeah. I read a statistic the other day. Maine is now the fattest state in all of New England. Maine never makes the top of any list, but we are now the fattest state per capita of all of New England. Way to go, Maine. I think this calls for a new bumper sticker. Maine, we love blowjobs. My name's Dawn Hartel. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight.
Keep it going for Dawn Hartel, everyone. Oh my God. I'll take fat chicks, skinny chicks, any chick with a pulse, or no pulse. That's fine too. I'm totally into it. All right. Coming next to the stage, we have a very, very funny lady. She has just been voted America's first, soon-to-be sexiest grandma by me. So, please welcome to the stage, Julie Poulin.
Thank you, Nate. I needed that. It's awesome. Hey, I am so excited to be back at the Somerset Abbey. I've been here a couple times. You guys are a great crowd. What a friggin' year this has been, okay? Oh my God, I am out on a Saturday night. I am shaved above the ankles. This is a win. This is a win for me. So my parents live in Florida, and they did not come back during the pandemic. They locked down. So we did a lot of FaceTime together. Well, let me correct that. I saw the bottom of their refrigerator a lot. The screen door, they could never figure it out. I was like, it's fine, Mom, it's fine. My parents have just gotten old and weird. My mother is 79 years old. She's a retired school teacher. And she's gone from, this delightful cookie baking grandma, this, Hallmark card sending friend, to a bat shit crazy bag lady. She's insane. Last year, she fell and broke her wrist while walking her beloved Shih Tzu Bella, or as she makes me call her, my sister. So I get a call, your mother's been taken to the hospital. So I fly over to the hospital. I get off the elevator and I can hear my mother. Oh, the pain, oh, my wrist, oh, it hurts. So I rush into her room and I'm like, what is going on? The doctor says, your mother has refused pain medication till someone from her family arrived. I'm like, what, Mom, why would you do that? The doctor said, I believe her exact words were, she was concerned that if she fell asleep, someone from the staff would steal from her. I am like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Mom, take your pain medication. Finally, she took her pain medication and fell asleep. And that's when I stole her wallet. $2 and a Werther's Original is what this woman held on for. She's crazy. My mother is super old school. You never call anyone at work. You don't bother people at work, unless someone's dead. So a couple of weeks ago, my mom calls me at work, and I'm like, oh, somebody must be dead. And I'm like, oh, please let it be Uncle Ralph. I am so sick of being kissed on the mouth by that man. And last Christmas, I think there was some tongue. I'm just saying. So I answer the phone. Hey, Mom, how's it going? She's like, oh, good. Don't call me at 4 o'clock. So I'm just thrown aback by her tone. I'm like, well, okay. Why can't I call you at 4 o'clock? That's when the psychic is calling. I'm like, the psychic? She says, oh, my friend Shirley got her. She's great. She's gonna tell us our future. And I don't want the phone beeping while she's telling me. I'm like, okay, Mom, I won't call you at 4. I get off the phone with my mother. I'm like, well, this psychic's got quite a little racket going. Hello, Miss Brenda. Oh, what do I see in your future? Oh, death. Hello. When my mother turned 75 years old, I said, Mom, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'll take you anywhere you want to go. We'll do whatever you want to do. She said, I've always wanted to go to P-Town and see one of those shows. Now, for those of you who don't know, P-Town is Provincetown. And it's a delightful coastal community in Massachusetts known for its vibrant gay culture. But I love it. I love it. Seriously, if I didn't like penis so much, I'd be gay. That's how much I love it. So we go to P-Town, we see a show, we're having a great time. So we decide to do a little shopping, and my mom calls me over and she's, oh, Julie, honey, look at this bracelet. It's so cute. I'm just gonna buy it and wear it out of here. And I look down and she has a beaded rainbow bracelet on. And I'm like, Mom, you can buy the bracelet, but you're not gonna wear it out of here. And she's like, oh, Julie, don't make me carry a bag around. I'm just gonna wear it out of here. It'll go with everything. I'm like, Mom, you can get the bracelet, but you're not wearing it out of here. And we'll talk about it outside. So we get outside. My mother says, why wouldn't you let me wear the bracelet? And I'm like, Mom, it's rainbow. It's gay pride. She's like, well, you don't care if people think you're gay. I'm like, no, I care if they think I'm with you. I can do way better. Have you ever noticed that when someone says, you look tired, even if you're not, you get like, well, again, my mother, every time I visit, the first thing she says to me, oh, Julie, you look tired. Like, no, Mom, I feel good. I'm rested. Oh, okay, but you look tired. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Then she thinks if she asks somebody else, it will validate her opinion. Bella, honey, doesn't your sister look tired? I just pushed my brother Rufus right off his dog bed and took a nap. All right, so we've spent some time together. I feel like I know you. I'm going to share something with you. This is a secret. This is big. This is big. This is the secret on how to become invisible, okay? No magic wand needed. No invisibility cloak necessary. No incantations. The only thing that you need to become invisible is to become a woman in your 50s. You are invisible. Thank you, my sisters back there. No men under the age of 65 can see you. No women under the age of 30 can hear you, and no clerk at American Eagle is ever going to ask if they can help you. It's what I call entering the ma'am zone. Do you like help out to your car, ma'am? Can we get you anything else, ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am, could you move? You're blocking the hot chicks. It's okay. Don't feel bad for me at all. They make products specifically for those of us in the ma'am zone. That's right. There's Spanx underwear. The name alone lets you know how it's going to feel when you put it on and take it off. There's Poise pads, because I never feel more poised than when I'm peeing my pants. I mean, how many of you can say you registered your car and peed your pants at the same time? This gal can, town clerk, didn't even know. Oh, then of course there's Vagistat. All right, I actually don't have a problem with Vagistat. It has been a long time since something wanted to get there immediately. But I'm invisible, seriously. 4 years ago, I entered a triathlon just for women. It was all about empowering women. I spent months training for this thing. I swam, I biked, I ran. The day comes for the triathlon, and I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm so excited. And I take the 3 hours necessary to get this into a wetsuit, and I am standing on the shoreline, and the announcer starts calling the women in. All women 35 to 40 may now enter the water. Off they go, and the crowd goes crazy. All women 40 to 45 may now enter the water. Off they go. The crowd is losing it. All women 45 to 50 may now enter the water. Off they go, and the crowd is cheering, and I am on the shoreline. Oh my God, I have trained so hard for this. I can't believe this day is finally here. It's finally my turn. Everyone else. What? And then it dawned on me right there. I am the human equivalent of meatloaf. I am a leftover. Oh, you'd still eat it just as long as nobody was watching. So, speaking of vaginas, yes, let's hear it for the vaginas. I love it. So, speaking of vaginas, the spas have reopened, and I was just so excited. I'm like, I need a Julie day. So, off to the spa I go, and I'm sitting in the waiting room in my robe, and I see a pamphlet on the table. I'm like, what's this? And it says, are you a woman in your 50s? Does your vagina look tired? And there's a little cartoon of a yawning vagina. Then perhaps vaginal rejuvenation is for you. And I'm like, well, I mean, if it's just, dipping it in some orange juice and it's gonna perk it up, sign me up. So I open the pamphlet. It is not just putting it in orange juice. There's like fishing line, duct tape, series of pulleys, whatever. I threw that right back on the table. I'm like, nope, I don't think so. And then I thought to myself, you know what? If you're a woman in your 50s and your vagina looks tired, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. So I have been married this July for 37 years. Thank you. Thank you so much. 4 different husbands, but a total of 37 years. I kid. One husband. I've just fantasized that he's been 4 different men. Maybe one with a savings account, a retirement plan, perhaps not a drinking problem, But we were both on lockdown this year together. So we both worked from home for a year. So we spent a lot of time together, and I learned so much about my husband. And I learned that I hate the way he breathes, eats, sleeps, talks, walks, starts the car, mows the lawn, talks on the phone, chews, watches television, changes the channel, flushes the toilet, opens the refrigerator. I just hate it all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry there. I feel better. No, it's good. It's fine. He's gone back to work, luckily. But since going back to work, it's kind of cut into what I like to call our sexy time. Because, during the COVID, we were home together, and we had a lot of sexy time. We broke our 2019 record of 10 times. We did 12 this year. It was like, woo, crazy. Well, he's almost 60. The recovery time is extensive. But, we had our time together. It was great. And he's gone back to work, and he's back at the building where he works, and I'm missing our sexy time. So I went out, kind of embarrassed to tell you this, and bought, one of those toys. But I put half dead batteries in it, so it's just like he's there. My husband has had the same foreplay routine since 1983, okay? It's a kiss on the mouth, a kiss on the neck, tune in Radio China. Okay, I don't know who teaches men that, but I beg of you, stop. Just stop. The other day I started without him. I said, honey, I'm all tuned in and ready. Just bring the goddamn antenna. But marriage is a two-way street. I have to do my part. This doesn't just happen. This takes, a lot of neglect, but I am working on it. I went to a Weight Watchers meeting last week. That was a scary moment for me. The first lady to speak started to cry. And she's like, I need to change my relationship with food. And I'm like, what in the fuck is she doing with her food that they're in a relationship? I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this. So then I decided I will join Overeaters Anonymous. And then I realized something. There's nothing anonymous about the fact that I overeat. You can see it. So I was like, no, I'm gonna have to exercise. So I signed up for one of those spin classes. It's the resistance bikes, and they're blaring music, and it's dark. But the most intense part of that workout is the way the trainer speaks to me. All right, Julie, get up on it. You're gonna ride this thing today. All right, give me everything you got, girl. You go nice and fast, right there. You're showing me, you go, right, harder, hard. Okay, hang on. I haven't been spoken to like that by a man in the dark in decades. So the YMCA, however, has asked that I refrain from smoking while still on the bike. So I'm gonna do that. I do try to look as good as I can for my husband. Got out of the shower the other day, and I'm drying off, and I notice a gray hair in, we'll say the throw rug. So I'm like, yeah, that's gotta go. Nobody wants to see that. And then I'm like, you know what? I will surprise him, and I will do a do-it-yourself Brazilian wax. Where were you? Where were you? So I'm like, he's gonna love this. So I heat the wax up, and I strategically place the mirrors on the sink because, I can't see it. And I'm like, he is gonna be so freaking surprised. So I get the wax and I put it on. It's 1,000 degrees. I'm burning. Oh my God, I'm burning. I turn the faucet on. Water. And then I look. And there are strands of hardened wax now hanging there. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't leave it like this. I can't pull it out. It'll kill me. What am I gonna do? So I decide I'm gonna have to cut it off. So I grab scissors and I just start, and I cut, and I cut, and I cut. And then I look. I am bruised. I am blistered. There are sporadic tufts of hair, and the goddamn gray one is still there. And I'm like, he's gonna flip out when he sees this. Well, guess what? To my surprise, my husband is a fan of The Walking Dead. We killed it that night. Thank you, Abby.
I forgot my lube. Sorry. Give it up for Julie Poulin, everyone. Julie Poulin. Oh. Is this doing anything for anyone? No? A little bit? A little bit? I'll take that. Great. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Again, make sure you are tipping your waiters, your waitresses, your bar staff. They are working their butts off for you. Make sure you take care of them tonight. Give it up for your waiters, your waitresses, your bar staff. Yeah! All right. It is time for your final comic of the evening. He has performed all over the U.S. and has hosted for national headliners. He even technically opened for Jim Gaffigan and Jerry Seinfeld, but he'll tell you more about that story. Please give it up for your headliner tonight, Al Gonaker, everyone. Al Gonaker.
What's up, Madison, Maine? Make some noise. I know, that's way too long of a pause. Yes, yeah, I technically opened up for Jim Gaffigan and Jerry Seinfeld because I was doing a showcase in New York City and they dropped in. All right, they still have no idea that I exist, but I technically opened up for them. Just like a cab driver technically delivers a baby by just giving a pregnant woman a ride to the hospital. Technically. Yes. This is awesome, though. Look at this. Stuff is opening back up. Aren't you excited? This is great. My gym opened back up, and the lady tells me after the tour, oh, one more thing, sir. Because of COVID, you won't have any access to the tanning beds. I guess I'll just have to make do without. Actually, cancel my membership. No tanning beds. Yeah, they. This summer though, I gotta make sure I don't get a farmer's tan. Cause I have to be shirtless if I'm in the sun. If I get a farmer's tan, it looks like my arms and my torso are from two different regions of India. The arms are dark, they're from Kanyakumari. The torso is from Kashmir. If you have no idea what those places are, I had to Google them right before the show. Yeah, I'm a terrible Indian. I just found out an hour ago, Kanyakumari is not a seafood dish. They make us wear masks in the gym, of course. And it's kind of tough though when I'm running and right when I need oxygen the most, my mask is full of sweat and I just suck in a bunch of water and cloth. It's wow, how do we work out safely without being waterboarded? That's the question. I'm confessing all my embarrassing secrets on the treadmill. Yes, I one time trying on my girlfriend's thong. I swear it was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. Every time now I step on the treadmill, they're oh God, that guy's gonna run, man. He's gonna start shouting across the gym how he once got drunk and kissed a guy, but he swears it was uncomfortable and he didn't like it. But I run only twice a week, because running for me, it's a lot like sex. Lots of heavy sweating and breathing, and if I move too quickly, I only last 8 seconds. But, that's what you got to do, though. On the news, they talk about all these ways to prevent yourself from getting COVID. Nobody talks about exercise and eating right. Raw garlic, for example. Chew on some raw garlic every now and then. That increases your immunity. It increases your white blood cell count. It ensures that everybody stays 6 feet away from you. Win, win, win. You remember when grocery shopping changed, within the first month of the pandemic? Those little markets, the small markets where you can pre-order. It felt like a hostage negotiation. They were all right, yeah, you call up ahead of time, we'll take your credit card information. Then you come to the store, do not exit the vehicle. You call us, let us know that you're outside. We'll come outside, we'll put your groceries right on the table. Then when we walk in and shut the door, then you can exit the vehicle, grab your groceries, get in your car, and get out of here. Oh yeah, and if we see any cops in the area, the whole deal is off. Don't let them try to call us and negotiate, or else we'll bring your groceries back inside. Every hour, we'll shoot one item. Just. Yeah, but I was lucky, though, that COVID did not affect my job, because I am a voiceover artist and I'm a stand-up comedian. So after the pandemic, I continued to not make any money, just like I was before the pandemic. I tried to file for unemployment, and they were your business wasn't earning enough income to constitute you as being employed. Doesn't look like anything has changed before and after. I'm like, that's a really weird thing to write on an official letter. Like, you couldn't have just... Oh, what? You didn't know that was... Yeah, you knew that was a fake story. Okay, fine. That didn't really happen. That's where all the silence comes. All right, this is true, though. When you get your own business, you got to get your own private health care plan, and I got the cheapest one that I could afford. It's called Be Careful. It's like $0 a month. It's awesome. Like, I used to do, back when I worked for a company, I used to do the Tough Mountain Challenge, you know, running and crawling through mud and running up a hill and climbing over a barricade, and now I just go for a jog. Yeah, people are like, you doing the Tough Mountain Challenge this year? No, I can't. I started my own business, just going for a jog. Okay, I'll cut that last tag off that joke. Okay, it was fine. It was fine, like, you know, one punchline ago, the way it was. But no, I didn't always do this, though. I actually, my previous career was 15 years of doing tech support, or as I like to call it, my one contribution to the Indian stereotype. When you look like this, that's the contribution you make. But I didn't represent my people well because I wasn't good at tech support, so like half the time I would call those 800 numbers and I'd get one of these dudes to help me. Hello, thank you for calling tech support today. My name is Brian. How can I help you? You can first admit your name is not Brian. Brian, I got 7 cousins over there. They all sound exactly like you. None of their names is anything remotely close to Brian. I mean, you can see on the caller ID, my last name is Garnekar. So I know your name ain't Brian. Hell, if I wanted to guess your real name, dude, all I need is 3 syllables, a B, a D, and a P, and I can just string them together. And that right there is closer to whatever the hell your real name is. First time that I ever did that, this guy comes up to me after the show. He's like, yo, I like that, man. You know, it sounds like you're doing some Bollywood beatboxing. You know, ba-ba-ticka-da-ba-ticka-dugga. I was like, no, that's just what roll call sounds like at my cousin's wedding. But I used to get overestimated all the time. Like, this lady would always tell me, like, Al, you are such a genius. Really? Why, Donna? Because you fixed my computer keyboard. Donna, I turned your keyboard upside down and a whole year's worth of granola bar crumbs fell out of it. Problem solved. Oh, by the way, I would call her Donna, because that was her name, but people working there would call her Donner, because this is Maine, and you have to add R's to the ends of words that don't have... That is like a weird thing I noticed. I've lived in Portland for 8 years. You know how many women I've met named Linder and Teresa? Neither of which have an R at the end. I've learned about all sorts of different Maine foods. Like, people say, hey, come on out on Saturday. We're going to have lots of pizza and... oh, well, if you're going to have pizza, I'd love to try this delicacy. But people at work would be like, yeah, if you need help with accounting, you just talk to Donna and she'll help you out. I'm like, wait a minute, do you mean Donna, or do we actually have somebody here who's named after a reindeer? Just checking. I used to work for a law firm. Lawyers are confusing. Like, we don't have any lawyers in the room, do we? None? Good. All right, you're going to love this. Lawyers, oh my God, I got an email from an attorney. It said, hey, tech support, my mouse is misbehaving when I drag files. Oh, it's misbehaving? What does that mean? Are you getting an error message that says, I don't have to drag anything. You're not my real dad? But I'm out of the business, though. That's what, you know, I'm doing what I love doing now. That's what you got to do. I learned that from, he's a Maine guy, Dr. McDreamy McSucky from Grey's Anatomy. You know that guy? Yeah, we got some Grey's Anatomy fans? Yeah, she's definitely Grey's Anatomy fans, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Patrick Dempsey, yeah. He, turns out his real passion is not acting. It's race car driving. I saw him on a commercial. He was dressed in a race car outfit, and he walked up to the camera, and it said on the screen, what you do for a living is not the same as what you live for. So if anybody in this room feels like you're just stuck in that dead-end $400,000 a week job in a hit television series, don't lose hope. There's a way out for you, too. He must be a celebrity. Your face did not move at that joke. He was just like, yeah, but you got a problem with television series? You know, just made $400,000 last week. You know, actually, like, there's been enough seasons of Grey's Anatomy, I think all of us could have accidentally been on it. They're in like season 27 by now. They just don't end that show. That's another one of those tags I'll cut out because the previous punchline worked fine, so we could have just ended it there. But yeah, of course, everybody's been watching TV, right? I'm noticing, though, I'm getting kind of addicted to heroin documentaries. No, seriously, I love watching those shows like Dope and Drugs Incorporated, and they go deep. Like, they interview the drug kingpins, and of course, the criminals have to be disguised in a ski mask and sunglasses. Some of them need to learn that when you have a handkerchief on the bottom half of your face and you can see this much of your head, this is not a disguise. Like, I saw this meth cook doing his interview like this. I was like, dude, if I lived in your town, I would know you. This is terrible. And he wasn't a user. He just simply, he had like a job, he had a wife, he had a couple daughters, he had just a meth business on the side. And he's doing his whole interview like with his handkerchief. It looked like he wasn't gonna wear a disguise. And then at the last second, the production team was like, dude, aren't you gonna put on like something? Like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, this works, right? We're good? It's like, no, dude, like I could see the whole northern hemisphere, and he had a lot of personally identifying information here. It was like gray hair, black streaks in it. I think I saw like a tattoo with his initials probably on the side. It's like if I lived in your town of 3 people, I would be like, isn't that Jessica's dad? Like, he was just at Little League on Saturday. Like, he always brings great snacks, doesn't he? He does smell like melted plastic all the time, so that explains it. But hey, at least we have an entrepreneur in our small town. There was this other dealer. He worked out of like some big city college, some college campus, and he has 10 street dealers working for him. He gives them 6 bags, little baggies of heroin every night. 1 is for them to shoot up. The other 5 they have to sell. Whoever sells theirs the fastest gets an extra bonus for the evening. And he was telling that to the camera crew. He's like, yeah, it's just it's like a nice little fun, contest that we like to have around here. I was like, yo, this is one of the tightest knit illegal drug companies I've ever heard of. Like, he's got Salesman of the Night awards and weekly team building activities. I wouldn't be surprised if he gives out Christmas bonuses. Like, I don't even think Pfizer is this nice to its staff. He was like, yeah, it's just a fun little contest we like to have, to boost the morale around here. It's like, see, he was trying to recruit more people to work for him. He's like, yeah, we give out free nightly heroin and, extra salesman bonuses. And in 2015, I was ranked as the top 10 best drug dealers to work for. Yeah, the Better Business Bureau said, yeah, all his employees are happy except for those that he shot. All right, we're getting too dark here, so we'll lighten it up. It's like not as dark over here with the laughter, but it's really dark over here, so. No, but I do have some good news, though. Lots changed this past year. A couple months ago, my girlfriend and I decided it's time to take our relationship to the next stage. The end of it? Anybody? Yeah? Oh, yeah. You've been at that stage. He said, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird stage. It's the one where you're ready to move and go your separate ways, but you can't afford to pay 2 different rents. So now you're stuck together awkwardly as roommates. And it totally gets awkward. Like, she was going somewhere the other day, and I told her, hey, text me the address call me when you get there. And she said, no, when you move out, we're not going to be doing that. So I would prefer if we start training for single life now. And I was like, that's fine, but it's funny how you never say that when you can't open a jar. Or when you needed that heavy-ass couch moved yesterday, that was all me. I was like, where was your training then? It's like, hey, yeah, come on, Rocky. Lift with your legs, not with your back. Yeah, your training began yesterday. What is today, a rest day? That's how it is, though. Women, they make rules, but they only really apply if it's beneficial to them. She validated it right there, right? The rest of you, I know the guys wanted to laugh at that, but you're thinking to yourself, you're like, this is going to be an argument on the car ride home. I'm just gonna keep my vocal cords shut. No. But she'll do this thing where she like crosses, just blurs the lines. It's like, yo, roommate, I mean, she was telling me like, hey, my butt muscle is sore. Can you rub it with lotion? We're roommates now, but I did. And she got mad because I wasn't just rubbing it with lotion, I was also rubbing it with an erection. And it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, okay? All right? Our penises don't have a brain inside of them. It's an organ. It reacts, okay? So my dick doesn't understand relationship status. If I'm rubbing your ass with lotion, my cock assumes that we're together. This hasn't been my first go around though. I've been divorced before. Any divorced people in here? Look how happy they are. You never get those cheers for marriage. Like, how long you two been married? Somewhere between like 20 and over 20, but less than like 60. Divorce, like he could give me the date he signed the papers. He's like, yeah! Yeah. Yes, what's your name, man? Chris? Chris, excellent accuracy. Great accuracy, Chris. Yeah, but, oh, no, I know. I don't know. I know you're serious. But yeah, like, that's what's great is like the stigma of divorce. It's not there anymore. People do it. People have starter houses. I had a starter house and a starter marriage, and I left both of them because neither had a good foundation, so. Plus my ex-wife also had massive cracks. And no. But no, I really got to get, like, I still have to grow as an individual. I realized this a couple years ago. I was visiting my parents. My mom bought me a polo shirt. And then I got back from that weekend. My girlfriend at the time had bought me cargo shorts. And a week later, I'm standing at a barbecue, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, I'm wearing a polo shirt my mom bought me, cargo shorts bought by my ex-girlfriend, and flip-flops bought by my ex-wife who divorced me because I'm not a self-sufficient adult. It's like, there's a serious problem here. I'm sensing a pattern. But one thing I learned from my relationships was how to last longer in bed. That's important, right? Yeah, doesn't matter whether you've been like married 5 years, 20 years, 80 years, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like what I do, I spend 5 seconds thinking about Donald Trump. Guys, try it. Try it. 5 seconds of Trump in the sack. Just 5 seconds will buy you another 10 minutes in bed. Yeah, sometimes I gotta up the ante. I gotta think about Donald Trump, Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, and Mike Pence, naked in a sauna, licking each other's nipples. Just for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds of that buys you another 15 minutes in the sack. Yeah, one time my ex-wife, she asked me, I don't know how you last so long. And I said something to her that I thought I would never say. I said, baby, don't thank me. You should be thanking the Republican Party. I'm noticing the younger kids, the Generation Z, they're into this polygamy these days. They like to call it polyamorous. Because polygamy sounds too much like a cult, right? Polyamorous, it's more loving, but it's really just a Generation Z word for gangbang. And okay, it's not happening all at the same time, so it's more like a gangbang timeshare. Like, you on Monday, and here we go, you on Tuesday, and you're Sunday. Okay, great. But they are different, though, polygamy versus polyamorous. Polygamy's old. Because oddly, a long time ago, Mormon men and Muslim men both thought to themselves, I think God wants me to have multiple sex partners. Hey, thank you. That's a great idea. Let me write that down in this religious book. Polyamorous is when years later, women stepped in and said, hey, #me too. And me personally, I am for monogamy. Okay? And I'm not saying I'm pro-monogamy for everybody. I'm just anti-gonorrhea for myself. At least I didn't have an arranged marriage like my parents. My parents met each other for the first time ever back in the 70s, 3 weeks before their wedding, in my grandfather's living room. The only thing that those two have in common is they both met each other in my grandfather's living room. 40 years, great roommates, barely do anything together. I used to wonder, too, how come the divorce rate in the U.S. is so high, but in India, barely anybody gets divorced? What's the secret to the successful marriages? The secret is they're not successful. There we go. People just tough it out. But, when I was a teenager, I used to, love it when I would get in trouble, because finally I could listen to the two of them agree on something. It's part of me was like, oh, stop lecturing me, but the other part of me was like, it's nice to see you two getting along. This is awesome. This could really work, guys. This is great. All my life, people always ask me, they probably want you to have an arranged marriage, right? They wanted you to have an arranged marriage? No, because they had an arranged marriage. They were smart enough to know that when a tree branch hits you in the face, you don't turn around, wind it up, and aim for your kid. They're stuck in India right now. They visit there during the winters, and they were going to come back last May, but they didn't come back because of the pandemic, which is ironic because they moved here in the 70s because the United States was #1. And last May, that's the exact same reason why they did not come back here. I went to India a couple years ago. That was a little weird because, see, my brother and I, we are both bilingual, but not in any of the Indian languages, because when we were kids, our dad told us, okay, you two are born in America, you don't need to learn the languages from India, those are useless for you guys. My 2 sons are Americans, so you have to learn how to speak Spanish. Was he right? Yeah. Yeah, my dad was full of great advice. Like when I was a teenager, I'd forget stuff all the time. And one day he got fed up and he was just like, well, if you knew you needed to take your mouthpiece to the karate studio, then why did you leave it at home? I forgot it. I forgot it. Yeah, tie it to your dick from now on and you won't forget. He was an engineer. It's pretty good advice. I mean, guys, if you're having trouble remembering anything, tie it to your dick. It's the only reason that I have my apartment key right now. But the Spanish advice, that was good. That was great advice. And my brother and I, we speak Spanish, not the same way. So, like when I speak Spanish, whatever I say, I'm still the same person, even though I change languages. Help me move this table to the other side of the room. Ayúdame mover esta mesa al otro lado del cuarto. Different voice, but I'm still the same character. My brother transforms when he speaks Spanish into somebody. Like, he came back from Cuba, and he's telling me on the phone, like, Al, you gotta go to Cuba, man. You gotta go to Cuba, man. You know why you gotta go to Cuba, man? Because in Cuba, man, oh, papi, todas las playas fueron bonitas, papi. Y también las mujeres. Oh, papi. 10 minutes I'm listening to. Oh, papi. Oh, y una biblioteca, esta biblioteca fue muy bonita. Oh. And that was just him talking about the library. I'm like, okay, to each his own. I'm like, but how was the food? ¿Cómo era la comida? Oh, la comida, papi, la comida en todas las restaurantes. La comida fue 100% deliciosa. Oh. Finally, I'm just like, okay, that's enough, dude. First of all, you were there for 1 week, Scarface. And second of all, don't talk to me like you're not wearing any pants. But in India, my mom told us, like, hey, people here speak English. They have trouble understanding Americans, so talk slowly. And so we did. We were asking a question to the hotel guy, and we were like, excuse me, sir, are those water bottles in the hotel room complimentary? I'm sorry, sir, I did not catch you. Can you please repeat that? So my brother tried. The water bottles, are they complimentary? And then now each of us try like 4 times each. Are they complimentary? So I look at my brother, I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know what else to do. If I talk any slower with this guy, I'm gonna be singing. So you got any ideas? I think maybe it's the accent. Okay. The water bottles in the hotel room, are they complimentary? In a half a second, he goes, oh, complimentary, sir. Yes, 100% complimentary, no charge, sir. What was I just saying? Did you notice there was that much of a difference between complimentary and complimentary? But I had trouble understanding their accent sometimes too. Like I was at a comedy show and the comedian was making it interactive and he's like, hey, do we have any Bond fans in the audience? Bond fans? So nobody was raising their hand, so I was like, let me help this guy out. So I was like, yeah, me. And he's like, hey, you're a Bond fan. I was like, well, I mean, I like the old films like Octopussy, but later the movies just got redundant and unrealistic. What are you talking about? You just asked if I'm a Bond fan. James Bond? No, not Bond. Bond. Oh, porn! That's how you guys say porn? Well, I like the old films like Octopussy, but Later, the movies just got redundant and unrealistic. Hey, Madison, thank you very much. You guys have been awesome. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here tonight. Give it up for all your comedians. Give it up for Nate. Thank you very much. I've been Al Gonecker. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks so much for coming out. Again, everyone, give it up for yourself. Well, not that much. You didn't do anything. You just sat there. Okay. Thanks again for coming out, everyone. Make sure you tip your waitresses, your waiters, your bar staff for taking care of you all night. Again, give it up for your comedians, Nick Gordon, Don Hartill, Julie Poulin, and Al Gonecker. I've been your host, Nate White. Thank you so much for coming, and we hope to see you again sometime. Get home safe. Take care.